What's up, everyone? I'm here with UFC Flyweight Cody Durden. He's fighting Quilang Aori. I hope that's how you say that, on November 20th. So I got to ask, I see, you're on Twitter. You're a big fan of the sport. This weekend after the main event, I'm sure you saw Anthony Smith and Ryan Spann. They kind of got into it, and it was kind of the accumulation of all the shit talking that Spann had been doing before the fight. So what are your thoughts on a guy who's been just chirped the whole lead up after the fight, kind of taking his emotions out like that?
Man, I thought, he got it off his chest. Anthony Smith felt like Ryan Spann was disrespecting his journey, and he didn't like that. Spann was talking about how he didn't care about who's Anthony's beat or what he's done in the sport and how many main events he's had, and I bet he cares now. So
Definitely.
yeah, I like it.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, you talk about UFC journey. What I think is interesting about you is that your first UFC fight ended in a draw. So what's that like emotionally? Because I guess you can be satisfied with the fact you didn't lose, but like you also don't get that thrill of victory. So how does that play kind of mentally for you?
Man, I'm a natural 125er. I took that fight on 6-day notice, and I had a fight 2 weeks before that fight. And after I fought July 18th, I was celebrating my win all week, and then a week later, I got a call from the UFC asking if I wanted to fight in 6 days, and I was like, "Damn!" I thought about all that beer I was drinking, all that Mexican food I was eating, and I said, "Fuck it, let's do it." And I got a draw, but what makes it even better, I got a draw against a great opponent, and I was real close to finishing him, and I don't regret a thing about it. Up a weight class against the number 30th ranked bantamweight in the world. I think he's won 4 or 5 in a row now. It showed a lot. It showed what I'm made of, and now I'm down to 125 now, and I'm ready to make a statement.
That's great. Yeah, I think the way the UFC works too, at least by our reports, is if they had asked you to, on short notice, take that fight, 6 days notice, up a weight class, it's a pretty tall task, but I'm pretty sure if you said no, there's a good chance no matter what you were doing outside the UFC, you're still not where you are today. So to come away with the draw on top of that, and then that really launches your career into the UFC. So you had to do it. But I also saw on your Twitter, you have this great pinned video of your last day working an actual job before becoming a full-time fighter. I'm always interested in what you guys are doing, like the moments leading up to when you actually get to become a full-time fighter. So what were you doing, and how did it feel to be like, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm going to fight full-time?
Man, I've worked full time since I was 18. I had a kid at a young age, and I had 3 scholarships, and I chose to stay behind and take care of him. And I found a local gym, and I started training mixed martial arts. I had the wrestling background, and for 9 years, dude, I busted my ass every day. I remember for 3 weeks, I didn't even train because I was working 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. Doing 60 hours, and I still didn't pull out of fights for 3 weeks straight. I worked 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, and I still got in there and fought and finished my opponent in the first round. So, I show up, I fight. I think I've had 26 fights now, including boxing matches, and I've pulled out of 2 fights. One fight was a broken rib, and another fight was a torn ACL. And going into that fight with Jimmy Flick, I had I had some injuries, and I had a broken toe, and I had pink eye, and just a bunch of shit led up to a bad performance, and then I had to get surgery on my ACL. So leading up to that fight, it wasn't the best circumstances. Now I've regrouped. I'm healthy. I'm 100% healthy right now. I got a great team behind me, and I'm coming to make a statement. I promise you.
Nice. And I also noticed you don't have, or maybe I just missed it, but I don't think you have a nickname, do you? When Bruce Bufferin.
Custom made Cody Durden.
Custom made, that's the nickname?
That's the nickname.
I love it.
I fought 3 guys in one night, and they introduced me as Cody Custom Made Durden. And I ran with it. You know, I beat their ass. I beat all 3 of them in one night, knocked them out in the finals, and left with $10,000 in 2019. So, ran. Sometimes you just got to run with things, man.
So when you're fighting 3 guys in one night, when you go back now, you get what, a 6-8 week lead up just to fight one guy. Is it like, oh, this is great, or does part of you like, you know what, I kind of like the days so I get to fuck up 3 people in the same night?
Man, it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, like mentally and physically, dude. You know, it was a lot of rounds, and then I got through it though. Justin Gaethje was my corner man, and man, we dominated. We didn't lose a round.
That's great. So, and then I also see on your social media, you've got a pretty solid amount of hunting, fishing pictures. So I always want to know, you're a tough guy, professional fighter. What's the biggest animal you think you could take out like with your bare hands? Like no weaponry. Like you're in the woods, you see it, like you lock eyes, like it's on. What's the biggest animal you think you can fuck up?
Man, that's a hard question. Probably a coyote.
Coyote?
Stand a chance against a lion or anything real big, bears or whatever, they'll tear you up, it doesn't matter how big you are. You get in there, you get head to head with a lion or a bear, you're screwed.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think you can definitely take out a coyote. Definitely. And the thing is, good part about that question is like, even if you said I could fuck up a lion, like you're never gonna have to back it up. So we all just be like, all right, yeah,
exactly.
UFC 266 this weekend. You have Volkanovski versus Ortega, Valentina Shevchenko fighting Lauren Murphy, and then the Nick Diaz return. So you're a fan of the sport. Any predictions you want to share?
Man, I think Brian Ortega is gonna take it, man. I think he's got the reach. I would like to see him take it. I would like to see Brian Ortega. As far as Nick Diaz, man, I was watching the lead up to that today, and Nick Diaz just comes from the struggle, man. Dude, Robbie Lawler's talking about fighting in the schools, and this dude over here is talking about, how he was in gang fights and he got stabbed once and stuff, and we'll see though. Nick, he hasn't been, he's in and out of clubs and stuff. We'll see if he got his shit together though. Yeah,
I think it's definitely what it's going to come down to. So, and then they also, in your own weight class, flyweight, they just announced the trilogy rematch of Moreno versus Figueiredo. The 3rd time those guys are going to be fighting. Obviously, first 2 fights are both very exciting. Do you think a trilogy was warranted, or do you think that should have went to someone else?
Well, I think Pantoja deserves the shot, and I think they asked him, but he didn't. He wasn't going to be ready in time, and Askoff is injured, so Brandon Moreno is wanting to fight, and he's wanting to get a paycheck. So, that's what it comes down to, and I think Moreno takes it again. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if nobody else wants to fight, I guess you got to do the trilogy. So last question, like we said, you're Cody Durden fighting Quailing Aori. Do you know how to say his name? I think it's Keeling Aori.
Keeling Aori, November 20th. What can we expect from you on that day?
Man, you're going to see a dominant fight from bell to bell. I'm coming after him. And we're gonna be in each other's face, and we're going to be leaving with 50K.
50K, making the prediction for the bonus. I think you're getting it. I'll be rooting for you. Thanks so much, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
Have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.